Geoscience graduates have many transferable skills. For example, they're highly analytical, have good verbal reasoning and plenty of experience working on teams, on projects, both in the classroom and in the field. They're literate, numerate, and typically possess excellent communication skills. They present papers and posters and are encouraged to be active participants in our energy industry. Above all, they're passionate about their subject, and that passion and enthusiasm will carry them a long way in their chosen career. One of my clients advised recently, we hire for character, skills can be taught. So remember, the biggest thing you have to transfer is yourself. In today's world, any further education is very valuable. Beyond the specific technical skills learned, one refines analytical capabilities, focused research, writing, presentation skills, especially having to make high-level presentations. A good MSc program will expose you to working side by side with high-level professors at the same time with people across a diverse skill set. These are things that distinguish you as a young professional. Also remember that crude oil is the basic component to producing petrochemical and petroleum components, which are needed almost in all of the things that we use, from our cars, household goods, electronics, etc. The increase in product demand has resulted in more petrochemical and refinery plants being built. And as the world becomes more affluent, this demand will continue, and with it, the continued need for petroleum geoscientists. We must recognise that recruitment will be slow across all industries in the coming months and potentially into next year. The oil and gas industry is no exception. Companies need time to adjust to the economic downturn and the challenges they face. Graduates should use this time wisely. For example, remain true to your degree. This is, after all, what you are focused on for the last few years. Take control over your time, stay resilient and occupied, and do not get hung up on the fact that you may not be getting positive feedback at present. Undertake a deep self-assessment. What value has the course given you? Example, technical skills, analytical, communication, teamwork, risk assessment, etc. How can you apply these skills at this time? Familiarise yourself with new trends, potentially in geology, geophysics. What are the technologies? What are the practices currently undertaken? Undertake the research in an area of interest, for example. The role of geology in the energy transition race. Evaluation of public domain data. There's plenty of data in the marketplace. Maybe look at some data in fields of emerging markets. There's new licensing rounds opening up. What data is available? What could you add to that? Further learning. Plenty of free webinars available. There are sites out there that are offering lots of free webinars. Utilize your time well and learn more. Secure a mentor. Go to the market. Go see who could mentor you. Plenty of good people on LinkedIn and elsewhere. And maybe teach, become a mentor to the undergraduates. Learn new skills such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, programming, all excellent skills for the new emerging markets. Stay involved with your industry. Maybe become a volunteer for the APG, the PSGB, the GELSOC. Join young professional groups. Ask for help. Get introductions, references, ideas. People are only too happy to assist if you ask. And above all, look to the future and identify how you can leverage your skills for the next chapter in your career. I'm going to answer this question in 3 stages. The first being pre-interview. Self-assessment. Evaluate your skills. What do I want to do? What can I do? What value can I bring? What new skills do I need, if any? You need to demonstrate the ability to write a wonderful cover letter and a winning CV. Demonstrate that you've researched the company and align your interest to their objectives. You need to make the connection as to why you wish to work for them and why they should hire you. The interview stage. Ability to build rapport. Be relaxed, be prepared, and the more you rehearse, the more confident you will feel. Check out the Working Smart website for interview type questions to rehearse. Demonstrate confidence and enthusiasm for the role and the company. You may have to present a short presentation, so have something ready because you might only get a couple of days to prepare. Have it critiqued by your colleagues. Where you get the opportunity, demonstrate some of your key skills, your creative thinking, your teamwork, your leadership, analytical skills, your awareness and understanding of the new trends in our industry. Remember, you have a degree, they know that. They're assessing your suitability for their organisation and culture. Have 1 or 2 questions prepared to ask them. Again, there's some examples on the Working Smart website and other sites as well. Do be aware that at the moment, interviews may take place over the internet. So dress appropriately, suit, ties, dress, and organise your setting so no distractions, as it shows you in a good light, not in a messy bedroom or sitting room. Remember, perception is the interviewer's reality, so make sure you give a good perception. Post-interview. Follow up with a note, this could be an email, to those who took part or a letter to HR if you don't have their emails. Suggest connecting on LinkedIn, thanking them for their time, but keep it simple. Don't be pushy. You don't know if you have the job yet, and these people may be valuable in the future. The world is faced with unprecedented challenges, which will require many of us to adapt to new jobs and new ways of working. The oil industry has been highly cyclical for the last 30 years and will no doubt continue to be so. The days of long careers with one company are very few. Young professionals need to research and familiarise themselves with the current trends and the challenges we face. They need to look across all industries and recognise the need for their skills. For example, geology and geophysics can be applied to so many problems in industries, not just petroleum. They need to look at emerging markets such as carbon-free technologies, for example, the role of hydrogen. They need to look at renewable trends, environmental challenges, to name but a few. They all require people who understand the dynamics of Earth's surface. By evaluating your skills and desires, you will start to pinpoint these job opportunities. For example, take a wider perspective. You may be really good at 3D visualization modeling, skills you can use in computer animation, film, or the gaming world. A geoscience degree has huge potential. You just need to explore your options and do something that you will enjoy. There are many answers to this question, and I'm going to deal with a few. The first one is the need to reduce carbon emissions. Renewables are vital for the global transition to a low or zero carbon economy. This need has been greatly enhanced in recent weeks during the COVID-19 lockdown. We've all experienced the pleasure of clean air, and the majority of the world has voted not to return to our previous smog-filled atmosphere and to avoid the threat of future pandemics heightened by global warming. We recognise that there is a growing energy demand, but the majority are on board that we need to exercise sustainable practices. Attitudes have changed, and with it will come greater pressure to deliver cleaner energy. Next one, renewables are becoming cheaper to deliver. There's been a steady decline in the overall cost of wind and solar. Some other alternatives are also emerging as being highly cost effective. For example, huge solar energy farms producing hydrogen to act as a fuel for energy. Investment. Against. There's been a growing emphasis around responsible investment, and this has come from consumers where there's a growing demand for clean energy, and also companies who are socially responsible or wish to be seen as such. Many of the world's charity organisations have pulled investment for exploration and production. It is not fashionable to be involved in what is considered by many as a dirty industry. For example, the World Bank has pulled all the investment for exploration around May of last year. And this overall lack of investment has forced operators to devise greener strategies and to forge ahead with the energy transition. For investment, we have seen a huge investment in renewables in recent years. For example, JP Morgan allocated $250 billion recently to clean projects. They actually have the problem of not enough projects coming forward, and they're urging people to present them for that investment pot. Changes to information reporting standards. Companies are now being asked to identify and quantify the financial impact of climate-related risks in their organisation. It's not law, but it's best practice, and companies have to be highly transparent in their reporting, not only disclosing the financial impact, but any threats and opportunities to their stakeholders. Peer pressure. In the last year alone, we've seen many countries ban exploration for oil and gas. This, in many cases, has been brought about because of industry peer pressure groups. However, there is a growing pressure across all demographic who envisage a cleaner and healthier world. Growing number of companies and countries uniting for this cause. There is an increase in players involved in the climate change initiatives and summits. Many corporations are also focused on signing up to standards such as the UN Principles for Responsible Investment and the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Transitioning to 100% renewables is an ideal way of helping these agendas, and of course for companies to be at the forefront of corporate social responsibility change initiatives. There is a major drive to bring natural gas and affordable electricity to all. The energy transition is here and will only gain momentum. This is a difficult question, as there will always be a need for petroleum, as it is used in the majority of our everyday products, from the clothes we wear to the manufacturing of food products to the vehicles we use. And as developing countries become more affluent, the demand for petrochemicals grow. Reports state that petrochemicals are rapidly becoming the largest drivers of global oil demand, set to account for over a third of the growth in oil demand to 2030 and nearly half to 2050, ahead of trucks, aviation and shipping. So I think it's fair to say that the hydrocarbon industry is going to be around for many decades to come, and as such there will always be a need for geoscientists and engineers. The numbers required will probably get smaller, and the skill set may change as we get smarter at finding and extracting oil and gas. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the IPCC, is the United Nations body for assessing the science relating to climate change. Now, they have reported, in order to keep the global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees centigrade between now and the end of the century, we need to reduce our CO2 emissions by 45% by 2030. That's 10 years to deliver a huge world objective. So yes, I do believe that we will see a major growth in renewables in coming years and a larger job market in this sector. The money is available, the investment is delivering better returns, the pressure is intensifying to deliver, and above all, consumers who buy the products are uniting to have a more sustainable, cleaner environment. The recent reports from COVID-19 studies are demonstrating this strong sentiment. So yes, I do believe that the job market for our young professionals will be in these cleaner solution companies. It may not be directly with an operator involved in energy transition, but as more and more projects line up for investment that is clearly available, there will be more new companies and ideas emerging, and this will drive demand for graduates from all sectors, especially for geoscience and engineering faculties. Our industry is highly skewed in that about 60% of the workforce is 55 plus years. We have already seen a large number of senior management retire over the last 5 years, and many more will go in the next 12 months as companies struggle and introduce early retirement schemes, some coming in at 55. Middle management, who I consider around 35, 40, they've already taken on more senior roles in recent years. And we have a major shortage of mid-tier, 10 to 15, major shortage in the low tier, the 2 to 9 year employees. And this has all been a result of all the downturns in the past 20 years. We had good graduate hire in 2019, but remember that we haven't had since 2014. So we already have a serious gap in our demographics that we need to address. Now, there's another side to this story. Companies have become smarter through technology, deployment, improved work practices, automated processes, which has reduced the need for certain skills and the vast numbers of the past. However, there will always be a fundamental need for geoscientists and engineers. The skill set may vary, and that has been addressed by some of our universities who have modules on digital transformation and energy transition, etc. But with the growing demand for cleaner energy, we will see more jobs in this sector. So all in all, I would stick with your chosen subject as a geoscientist or engineer, but advance those skills to reflect the market demands. The better equipped you are to adapt to the changing landscape, the wider the scope of opportunities. Staying alert and engaged with emerging trends is key. Skills are the same, but the technical focus is different. For example, in oil and gas, you want to produce the reserves as fast as possible, where in geothermal, you want to stretch out the heat reserves for as long as possible. It's the same discussion about porosity, fluid flow, permeability, but with different planned outcomes. This is already happening. Some universities have already introduced new modules to meet emerging demands. For example, Derby has a geoenergy MSc starting in September this year. It includes hydrocarbon, geothermal, carbon capture and storage, and it also includes GIS and machine coding, all excellent skills for the future. Manchester is introducing a subsurface engineering MSc in September this year, and that will include petroleum engineering, geothermal engineering, a much broader perspective. Royal Holloway is launching Energy Geoscience MSc in September this year, traditional and renewable energy resources. And Edinburgh is devising an MSc in geothermal, I believe. All the MSc courses lecturers in the UK, they're working together to devise new course modules and potential new and revised MScs. There is talk there may be specialist 2-month courses following an MSc focused on specific topics. The universities are working closely with industry who are interested in securing graduates with a broader skill set to meet emerging demands. However, I suggest that graduates take control of their own career choices and to educate themselves on key topics of change. For example, the role of artificial intelligence and machine learning in big data, how predictive analysis is being used in drilling decisions, learning maybe Python, a machine learning language. Take better control of these type of skills. There is no one skill in demand over all others. When recruiting in the last few years, there has been greater interest in candidates demonstrating some strong IT skills, especially those who have an understanding of artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, predictive analysis, and coding. These are skills they lack in the older demographic, and with the investment in digitalisation, these skills are highly sought after. However, companies need a wide range of skills, so I suggest whatever your chosen subject is, be able to demonstrate how that discipline is utilised in today's workflows, current trends, ideas, advancements of this discipline. For example, you may be a geophysicist, so you should understand about the new techniques in capturing geophysical data, not just seismic, but gravity and magnetic and EM, etc. The QI process, how does geomechanics is now being incorporated into the QI process. Know and own your discipline. It all comes down to research, research and research. Participate in some of the forums, maybe find a mentor in emerging technologies companies, listen to webinars, get involved, stay involved. And this will fuel your passion and your enthusiasm. I think the main qualities to be displayed are passion and enthusiasm for your chosen degree and the job and the company that you're applying to. They have your CV, had your excellent cover letter. They're assessing you to see how you can be developed and if you'll fit into their culture. So qualities to be displayed are your communication skills, your listening skills, honesty. If you don't know the answer to a question, just say so. Your technical competency, your work ethic, how flexible you are, and your determination to succeed, and above all, are you a team player? Qualities not to display at an interview. Interviewers may ask you for your weaknesses, so be careful about starting a negative comment without an explanation or a positive spin. It could ruin your chances. For example, if time management is your weakness, then you can explain that you've improved this by the use of reminders and alarms, maybe on your phone or your laptop or whatever. Also, don't be self-absorbed or overly confident. Don't grill the interviewer about your long-term opportunities or your salary prospects or your holiday entitlement. This will all be relayed in due course. And above all, remember, you're there to sell yourself to a potential employer, and it's a buyer's market, not a seller's market. I always say the rules of thumb at an interview are 70-10% is what you say, 20 to 30% is how you say it, and 60 to 80% is your image, your body language, and the overall impression you create. The more prepared you are, the more relaxed you will be, and the better you will perform on the day. Recruiters will have a host of clients, and the majority will present candidates on a job-by-job basis. However, some will hold partnerships with clients that enable them to present a candidate speculatively, not for a specific job. This has worked successfully for us many times, but is about matching the candidate succinctly with the business objectives of the client. Specialist oil and gas recruiters should be in a position to give you some advice on your CV in the market. However, this information can be sought from many sources. There's a lot of good information on the Working Smart website about job opportunities and how to self-assessment and CV writing, etc. You should never rely on anyone to find you a job. This is your responsibility and you have to take charge. By all means use a recruiter, but select wisely. Some will promise you the earth and won't deliver. So be careful, and honesty is key. I always suggest the following process: self-assessments, research the market from a targeted list, good cover letter, CV, follow-up strategy. Hopefully the hard work will get you an interview, and then it's down to you to perform. But there's lots of good tips on the website. Very interesting question. I would say, first off, take responsibility for your own career. I was a worker bee who just got on with the tasks at hand and relied completely on others with regard to my career advancement. I had a fantastic boss who asked me one day, "What is your career plan?" To which I replied, "I'm so busy doing the job, I don't have time to think about that." He was actually quite appalled by this answer, that I had no plans, and he became my mentor, and he really supported me and pushed me to pursue my masters. But not everybody is so lucky. Learn to say no, of course in a nice way, polite way. Don't take on everyone else's job responsibilities. Be seen to be helpful, but also be aware when you are being taken advantage of. Many companies no longer have programs to build skills, and much less HR departments to manage this. So you need to take ownership. Don't depend on others to develop your skills. Always be looking to the next step, even if it is a few years out. Have a goal. You may need to adjust it as circumstances change, but having a clear understanding of where you want to get to and how you're going to get there, that's paramount. A colleague advised me recently, be the impressive person that has 10 years of building skills and growing professionally, rather than the humdrum person that has 10 years experience repeating the same 1 year of skill development. Really good sentiment. Be proactive in building a strong rapport with your work colleagues across the organisation. It can open doors for relocation opportunities, team working, and especially career advancement. Start to build your external network from day one. It's a very small industry. And make each contact a positive experience. Attend as many industry events as possible, join in discussion, ideas, forums, and present papers and posters where you get the opportunity to do so. Do it when you're young. Start when you're young and it'll build confidence, so by the time you're in your mid-tier, you'll be an absolute pro. Seize every opportunity to travel, even if you lack the confidence. Push yourself. The personal rewards are fantastic and you will become known as someone who's highly flexible. I did this, I saw a lot of the world, and it was a priceless experience. Always have money for a rainy day. It is a very cyclical industry, and having a nest egg will see you through the bad times. Most of all, I think, be alert to your marketplace. It's a changing, new sectors, businesses will emerge, so you have to keep abreast. Keep focused and skilled for the new exciting challenges ahead.